It's the JT Cho Show!
Okay, I gotta say, when it's rainy, watch for quicksand. I know that's a thing on this map.
Yeah. Should be able to avoid it relatively easily, though. Alright, I'm good. Go.
You charged?
Yep.
Oh, quicksand! Oh my!
Shitting me?
No, God, please, no! No!
Did we all get killed by that?
Yes!
Oh.
Fucking kidding me!
Mike's live.
Hello. That was funny. Looks like I'm not an alcoholic, dude. Hell yeah, let's send it. Welcome to the 152nd episode.
Look at us.
Of the JT Show. It's crazy. It's a fun hobby. I enjoy doing the pod, and I don't know why I have an extra coaster all of a sudden. But welcome people on Twitch who view. I already have one in. I appreciate. I found going to all these events. I found the Years In, the one that went missing.
Oh, did you?
And it just rolled underneath one of the underneath your door.
Oh.
Underneath your seat.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
like in a weird spot that you wouldn't have found it unless you completely looked under.
Fuck it. Hope you took advantage of it.
No,
Oh.
they were expired.
Zins?
September 12th, 2023. Yeah, there's like a little date on the back of Zins that tell you when they're expired.
You sure it said 2023?
Might have been 2024.
I was gonna say, 'cause mine says September 2024.
Yeah, that's what it might be.
That might be it.
So hey, if you're
I mean,
ever in a
even then,
pinch,
what's it expire? I mean, tobacco doesn't really fucking expire either. I don't really know what's in these though.
nicotine.
Nicotine expire? I don't think it like molds or anything. It probably just gets weaker.
Gets
Kind of like
stale.
Tylenol.
You know,
Because like expired Tylenol just loses its potency.
Cigarettes
Like you can
get
still
stale.
take it. Not if they're kept in like the Middle Eastern ones where it has like the airtight seal on them.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you fucking rip open an American pack and leave it out for a year, it's gonna be kind of gross at the end of it. But
Yeah, if you have in like an airtight container.
I mean,
it'll
these
be
if it's
fine.
just nicotine, I would imagine it's kind of like Tylenol. How when it gets too old, it just like loses a little potency.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know nothing. It's
I'm
just a
not
guess.
I'm not a scientist.
Yeah.
Whose birthday?
My guy is he's having another birthday, another one. DJ Khaled. Happy birthday. Yeah, there he is. Another one. I wish you have another one.
I saw him. I went with Charles Schultz.
Who's that?
He was born in 1922, and he's the creator of the Peanuts comics.
Oh, that's a
Brown.
good one. That's a good one.
He died in 2000. Y2K.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, I went with Charles Schultz because
I wonder when he died in 2000. I wonder if he died like the first
January
day.
1st.
I always think about that, like the people that died like in 99, they never got the answer.
No.
They died thinking Y2K might have been a thing.
Like there's a TV show scene. I saw it on TikTok. But it's cheers to
birthday.
those guys.
Yeah.
But it's just like an old man, and he's like living in a bunker, and like these people like dig him out, and he's like, "What about the nuclear holocaust?"
Oh, I saw the clips of it. I
yeah,
saw the clips of
yeah,
it.
and I was like, "What a crazy man that would be." Like I remember Y2K, and my family.
It reminds me of that Brendan Fraser movie.
My family might have unplugged the computer. There might have been a slim chance that my dad did unplug the computer from the internet.
Oh, I bet he did.
But at the same time, like I might have been on the computer on the internet, just like
I
can't remember. I was 10.
Yeah, I would have been fucking, what, 6, 7?
I would always eat peanut. I would always eat M&M popcorn on New Year's Eve, just because it's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
And then stay up and watch the ball drop and shit, because I was a kid. And then when I was an adult, you're like...
Yeah, I used to stay up and watch the ball drop too, but it would drop pretty early for us.
And then when you're in college, you're like, I'm gonna go hard, because it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah, of course.
And then now that I'm an old man, I'm like, I don't even give a shit. It's another day. I'm going to sleep. I'm not doing anything. I'm tired.
I had a bunk bed growing up, and it was just me sleeping in it in like a pretty decent sized room. And I remember
Bottom or top?
I always slept on the bottom because I could turn it into a little fort.
Yeah.
And then the top's where I kept all like my toys and shit.
Dope.
So I would like jump up on the top, grab a toy, bring it down. but my TV was like across from my bed, so I could sit like sideways on my bed and like watch TV. And I was sitting on the top bunk New Year's Eve, and I was watching wrestling as I did back in the day. What was the guy's name that I loved? I can't remember. With the black and red face paint.
Maybe Sting.
He had like the long hair
Warrior?
with like black and red face paint.
The Warrior.
Maybe, I don't know. I can never remember his fucking name, but he won for like a month straight and then just like lost randomly, and I hated him after that. Anyways, I was watching the wrestling and I had my legs hanging over the bed, and I was like, I'm going to stay up as late as I fucking can because my parents are downstairs drinking and they're going to have no idea because they're not going to come check on me. They're having a good time.
Right.
And so I sat there watching wrestling, and then next thing I know, I'm waking up and it's like 7 a.m. And I look over and my legs are still hanging off the bed. I was like, dude, imagine I fucking went forward instead of backwards.
That guy?
No. He had like black and red. It might have just been black. I don't know. Now I gotta know.
Was it any of these guys? One of the Jeff Hardy brothers?
You know what? It might have been this guy.
Jeff Hardy?
It might have been.
Wasn't this guy?
It would have been. What would the year have been?
Early
1996, 97.
Was it this guy?
Yep.
That's Sting.
Oh, I had no idea. I never remember his name. Yeah, he won like 4 or 5 nights in a row, and then I watched him one night and he lost, and I fucking hated him after that. It was like my shortest stint of any obsession I've ever had. Like, my parents didn't even know I watched wrestling, because it was the only thing that was on, like, you know, past 7 p.m. when I was going to bed.
Yeah, so eventually he went to the white face paint.
Okay.
And then...
when did he have the black and red? Was it 96, 95?
In earlier in his career.
Yeah, that was definitely him then.
And then what's
The only reason I liked him is because he reminded me of Old Boy.
And you know the world famous meme of Kevin Spacey at the hockey game where they gave a Kevin Spacey mask.
Yeah.
So Sting has they're like, oh my god, who is this? And he's the hit. So he was the originator.
I like that.
That.
Yeah, that's
hilarious.
Funny. Yeah, I loved him so much when I was like 3-4 years old. Like, I vividly remember watching him on my little tube TV, and then he lost. Never watched wrestling again. I hated it after that. I was so wildly obsessed with it. Like, I would wait. My parents would tuck me in. As soon as my door would close, I would run to my TV, turn it on, and like adjust the ears so my fucking shit was all good.
So, we all watched it as a family. And this was like the Raw era.
Okay.
Because they were like, nah, fuck it, we're going hard. And then like
I don't even think The Rock was wrestling at that time.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, I'm sure he was wrestling, but he wasn't like on my TV.
He had to be. If
you think so?
Well, unless you're, I mean, Sting was on NWO. Not NWO. He was on the other wrestling program.
I don't know. I don't remember The Rock at all. I
might
remember The Undertaker for sure.
Did you have the CW?
I had to have, yeah.
Yeah, so I think
we had like 50-something channels.
I think Sting was on the other wrestling program, so you probably saw like Kevin Nash and a bunch of those people.
Probably, I'm not sure. It was always like late night, so it was on at
wrestling.
it was on at like 8 p.m. Oh yeah, speaking of which, we do have something we have to talk about.
Oh yeah,
we got our first request to dive deep into a topic, and the topic just so happened to be the Creative Society. Clip it, chat. And it's basically like hyper-Marxist communism. Yeah. Like, they want universal income. It was like everyone makes 10 grand a month or something like that, or 10 grand a year, and you don't have to buy anything. Healthcare is free, food is free, school is free. But like at that point, you just kind of like lose your drive to do anything. So what's the point? You're guaranteed whatever.
I would get the cheapest rent.
Oh, I mean, it's paid for.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's paid for. The only thing you have to buy is, like, your extra shit.
You probably don't even own it.
Yeah, you probably don't. You probably just rent it from the government, and that's how they get their fucking money back or whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just a bunch of fucking commie bullshit. Like, I don't have a better way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of universal income. I think you should work for it, not be given...
At least do something.
It's just so much government control. I'm definitely anti-government control. I'll just leave it at that.
Back to the wrestling thing. My church was like, you shouldn't be watching wrestling. It's not the right. So my mom was like, we can't watch it. And then we stopped going to church for a while. So rules of the Lord fell out of the house.
Oh, they got a little loose.
and
Gave you a
then-
little more line.
Well, then WWE went for more kids, so they kind of cleaned up their act a little bit. And then my mom had a famous, she liked Sheamus, the big Celtic guy. But me and my brother used to every Monday Night Raw cook a large pizza and eat it like DiGiorno.
Nice,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
and then we just did that fucking every Monday night. And then one day I was just like, I don't want to watch this anymore. I was just like, I don't give a shit. You know what's gonna happen? The same shit, but somebody else. I'm the best in the world. I'm a heel. I cheap shotted you. You stole my title. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, they're the best.
Yeah, it was great. I hated wrestling, and I hated it so much when I was like 11, 12. I was making fun of this kid that was 10 that was like super in to wrestling. Like he dressed up as the wrestlers for Halloween and shit. Just loved it.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like making fun of him one time in front of his grandpa. He stayed with his grandma and grandpa for some reason. But I was like, dude, wrestling's fucking fake. Why do you even watch that shit? I didn't say it like that. I was 12.
Yeah.
And his grandpa was like, hey, man, all sports are fake. And I was like, no, they're not. He goes, yeah. What's your favorite sport? And I played baseball at the time. I was like, oh, I play baseball. And he's like, oh, yeah, baseball's been caught fixing its games every other year since the 40s. And I was like, no, they haven't. And I went home and I looked it up. And like the most recent time the MLB itself got caught fixing games was like 1996.
That's wild.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's wild.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Astros cheated, but like I don't think the MLB's been caught since I've been an adult.
Right.
Unless it's something that they just kept super on the down low, and I don't really pay that much attention to baseball, so maybe I just missed it. But yeah, and then I started looking up like NFL stuff, and like the only thing that came up for NFL stuff was like point shaving scandals that happened back in like the fucking 50s, 60s, 70s. Like there hadn't really been anything from the NFL as an organization, but there had been like, you know, players and coaches and shit that have cheated.
Yeah.
But yeah, the MLB's been caught a shit ton of times.
Yeah.
Like shaving points and fixing games, and I was like, fuck, man.
My dad used to have this poster in his garage of like, it was like probably like early 90s major league players that don't chew tobacco anymore. They're like anti. And it was the sickest poster because a lot of these people were motherfucking ripped athletes.
Yeah.
But then, like, as an adult, I was like, I understood why I do it. You ever dip when you play softball? It makes you feel like you're on top of the world, man.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's hilarious.
You get that big old fucking loose leaf shit in your cheek. I used to love that. Redman and what was the other one? Levi Garrett.
Yeah.
Levi Garrett was fucking fire too.
I just do Stokers.
Stokers. I don't think I ever had Stokers. There was another one too, wasn't there?
You can buy 'em.
Levi Garrett, Redman.
You can buy that here too. I saw it at a store in the big because it sells it.
Yeah, they got a little. Oh yeah, they have the big tubs of them. Then they have like the little baggies that look like the Big League Chew.
Yeah.
But that Big League Chew looks like that.
Yeah.
Not the way I said it. But yeah, I used to love that shit.
I mean, Stokers is like, you gotta pack it, but it's hilarious.
Oh, I like the loose leaf shit. It's like a little leaf of tobacco. You just put it in, you chew it a little bit, and just have it in your cheek.
Can't do it.
Dude, it tastes like raisins. I love it.
Don't like it.
I love it, dude.
You're Bert Kreischer.
I might get a little pack. We'll see. Next week you might see me chewing on one. I love that shit, dude.
No, thank you.
That shit's so good. Did you see Johnny Depp is casted to play Jack Sparrow again?
Yes. All's right in the world.
And the internet cheered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that the other day, and I was like, "Fuck, that's amazing!" Like
How amazing
finished.
is it? 11. It's more. It's
Come
pretty.
on.
It's
I'm
pretty,
the one who brought up the topic.
It's pretty average.
All right, your role counted.
Hey, not on camera.
He's like, "Oh, sorry, boss." But yeah, I saw that, and I was like, "Fuck, man, I cannot wait." Because wasn't he not in the last one, or who was not in the last one? I think it was just what's his name was in the last one, Pretty Boy.
Who's married to Katy Perry?
Is he married to Katy Perry?
Yeah, they have a child.
Really?
Bo
Orlando
guy.
Bloom?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
funny. I didn't know that.
I stay at.
Oh, you know what I fucking saw the other night? And I hit up Garvin about it, and I was like butthurt about it, but like not really. Zooey Deschanel, she's marrying a property brother.
She
Like
already
one
is
of those.
Married.
Well, she was like the clip I saw was she was engaged. She got a divorce from the last dude.
Yeah,
whoever
no.
her first husband was.
Yeah, no, I've known that for a while.
Yeah,
Because
She's
my parents watched,
she's either currently or was married to one of the property brothers.
I'm pretty sure she's currently married. I'd bet 90% on it.
To one of the property brothers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, I saw a clip that they were together.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
Yeah, my parents are, at one point when they had cable, they were rabid HGTV.
Oh yeah, I used to watch the shit out of it. It's all bullshit.
The Magnolia Farm, though, I visited that restaurant in Texas.
Oh really?
And it's super classy. We didn't wait to get food because it was 8. We didn't wait to get food because the line was too long.
That was, because that must have been a really old clip that I saw. It was when the Property Brothers went on Jimmy Fallon. And he was like, "Oh, you're engaged," and he like pulled up the thing. I just saw an old clip of it, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
We just got some coffee and some to-go items because we're like, we'd rather just get down to San Antonio for the Final Four.
Let's see, spouse. She's not currently married.
She might be engaged.
I think she's engaged. Maybe it was a recent one. Because it says she got a divorce in 2020 from Jacob something. Is that the Property Brother? No, it's not the Property Brother.
Drew and Linda Fan and Zoe Deschanel now respectively have come to out. Let's see. Oh, they got engaged.
Oh, okay, so I was right.
Yeah. But yeah, good for that guy.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
She's marrying a Property Brother? I wonder how they met.
I don't, she probably...
I mean, obviously they're both, like, on TV, so they probably swing in the same circles.
Article, but literally, if she was like, I think he's cute. Hey.
I'll do a deep dive into it. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah. She's probably like, hey, I like you, and I'm Zoe, and he's like, I'm game.
Yeah, he's like, I love you.
I love Jess from New Girl.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
if I could marry, like, a fictional lady... She'd be like top 5.
She's pretty great. Did you know that in fucking Australia they have different names for movies, like normal movies? So like 13 going on 30 here. They thought that because that saying is like an American saying, like something going on something.
Yeah,
it's a saying. And in Australia they didn't think they'd understand it. So it's called Suddenly 30. There's like there's a bunch of them. Hold on, I have a video that's just funny.
That is pretty fucking funny now. Suddenly 30.
Yeah, it's literally called Suddenly 30.
We're commenting this on our other video, but yes, it's true. 13 going on 30 is called Suddenly 30 in Australia for a really embarrassing reason. Apparently, whoever was responsible for the Australian distribution of the film decided Australians wouldn't understand the saying 13 going on 30. They decided it was too American and Australians just wouldn't get it, which is so embarrassing. But it's not just that. Apparently, Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon were in a movie together. I didn't know that, but it wasn't called Fever Pitchy, it was called The Perfect Catch. And I literally just learnt this one right now. It was not Neighbours here, it was Bad Neighbours, because we have a show called Neighbours, and they thought that would be too confusing. I feel like we're smart enough to get it, though.
Yeah, like movies and shows have the same title sometimes.
It's so funny that they changed it because they think the Australians are too fucking stupid to get the phrase.
It's insulting.
It really is. I give them the benefit of the doubt. I'd imagine they'd be able to understand 13 going on 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just funny. And then the fever pitch is the perfect catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, just goofy.
I think Bad Neighbors is the worst
Bad
one.
Neighbors is the worst one. That's
There's
crazy.
There's a TV show already called Neighbors. They'll be confused.
Yeah. They're like, oh, Joe Rogan's in the Neighbors TV show?
No, you'll just have to type in Neighbors movie when you Google it, or Neighbors show when you Google it.
Yeah. They're doing a new Karate Kid movie.
And Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan and old boy are in it. The original
Macchio.
guy, yeah. And I don't think was Ralph Macchio in the last Karate Kid?
I don't think so.
The Jackie Chan,
No.
Jada Smith one, or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, so that's gonna be pretty cool seeing them both in the thing. And I guess they're like currently looking for the next Karate Kid. They don't have someone picked out.
Thank goodness.
And my first thought was, Vinny's a little too young.
The Karate Baby.
The Karate Baby.
The worst thing you could do is teach Vinny karate moves at this age, because he'll be just mowing down everybody.
Yeah, because he's got no, not no sense. It's kind of sense, though. He just
He's
doesn't
2.
really, yeah, he's 2. He just doesn't really get
It's
the
very hard.
I could hurt this person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get that till you're
He doesn't get like a repercussion thing in the back of his head. He's just doing shit.
It's like one of my favorite memes is It's from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's where the first time he meets old lava guy and he puts him in his domain, and he sees everything at one time.
Oh yeah.
And the caption is, "When I'm 4 and my piss-soaked hand full of animal crackers, and I finally gain consciousness." And I'm like, there's just some point in your life where you just are like, "What the fuck?" And then I was like, that made me laugh really hard.
I was about 4. It was actually the morning of my 4th birthday is my first memory I can like dig back to.
Yeah, I remember weird shit like pushing toys.
Well, yeah, no. So I remember like my earliest memory is me sitting in a high chair and I look up and I see my dad, my uncle Kendall, and we were in. The only reason I know I was like 1.5 is because that's how old I was when they moved out of this house. So I could have been younger than that, but I imagine it was somewhere around the time they were moving because they had a little dog that died that year too, and I remember the little black lab dog that they had. But that's my earliest one. But like, I can go back to the morning of my 4th birthday and like recite every year after that. But before that, I have nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have a concept of time before that. But I remember I was sitting in the living room watching Power Rangers on TV, and my mom came in. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Watching TV." And she's like, "All of your friends are here. There's a petting zoo outside." And I was like, "Oh." And I went out in the backyard. My uncle like brought over his goat and his iguana. It was a good time.
I remember this day because my mom got really mad. But in preschool, I went to this like nice preschool, and they had this student activity day, and we got to the nail painting station, and I was like, "I don't want my nails painted," and the guy's like, "Well, why not?" And I was like, "Because I'm a boy and I don't want my nails painted." And he was like, "Well, everybody's getting their nails painted," and I was like, "Do you have to?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Fine, I want all black." So, like, my mom picked me up and bam, I've got all black fingernails. And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "I told them I didn't want it, and they made me get it." And so the next day, my mom...
Was she scrubbing them?
Well, no, she just took it off with nail polish remover.
Oh, okay.
And then the next day, she drove me, and she was young
She
and
had
beautiful.
talking to him.
Yeah, I also remember having a little fling, like a little fucking pre-K girl that I used to hold hands with and get in trouble with holding hands with. I remember getting yelled at for that, too. I just remember getting yelled at.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
I got yelled at some. It wasn't a whole lot. I only got like spanked real hard like twice.
You lucky man.
Well, I didn't do that much stupid shit.
Neither
Like
did
I wasn't like I wasn't a dumb kid, but I like didn't understand stuff, so I was real slow to do anything.
I'm just the person who was, "Hey, don't do that anymore," and I do it one more time. Like, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Or I just think it's really funny. Stop doing it, and then you just do it.
Yeah, the one time I got spanked real hard, I was sticking a fork into an electric socket, and my dad took it from me, and he's like, "Don't fucking do that. That's bad. That'll hurt you." And I was like, "Okay." And then he walked away, and I went and grabbed the fork again. I went to go stick it in there, and he came back in the room and grabbed me, put me over his knee, and spanked me, and I started crying. And he's like, "You're not gonna do that again, right?" I was like, "Nope." Never did it again. I mean, it was either he was gonna spank me or I was gonna get electrocuted. Either way, I was gonna learn the lesson, and I learned it.
He saved you.
He saved me. He saved me from getting electrocuted, at least.
Yeah. There's one thing that I wanted to bring up, and it's almost the most fantastic weekend you can have in sports.
Oh, yeah, for you.
Yeah. So, post Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Day, I went to Lions Packers Ford Field. Thank you, Paul, for the ticket.
Thanksgiving football, dude.
Went with
It's hard to
Vinny. Vinny's second birthday in Mali. And the Lions disappointed the home crowd. My favorite part of the only man, it's so hard to go to a Detroit event and not be a Detroit fan.
Yeah.
And you just get the other end of it, and you're like, we're pretty rough out here.
Yeah.
But my section was pretty nice. But my favorite part about doing that is just walking out of their arena a winner. And everyone's super quiet. And you're like, "What are you gonna say? We just beat your ass," And so, that was sick. And then Friday, I was at my parents' house post Thanksgiving because I skipped it, of course. And then the dude called. He's like, "Hey, I got an extra ticket, face value." And I was just like, "I'm here. I'll bring cash. Let's go." I went to Michigan, Ohio. I went to the game.
Yeah, the biggest game of the year.
2 years in a row, I've been at the big house. With the new scoreboard, sick. They brought back the DJ they had the last time they beat Ohio State because that was the first. I believe that was the first time they had a DJ.
Oh, nice.
And so they brought him back. Fantastic job, sang Mr. Brightside like always. I went to College Game Day for the first time.
How was that?
That was pretty cool.
Did you get to see Pat?
I saw Pat. there's a brief second where there's a sign, Pat, and I was like, oh shit, maybe it was mine. And they read off another sign. I was like, you know, I was a little crushed. No, but I was in a good spot. I was right by the Washington State flag guys, the Washington State flags that are always there. Then I was next to this dude from Oregon State who had a flag. And then they're talking about his head football coach, who's an alma mater of Oregon State, who is apparently going to coach Michigan State. And they're talking about him leaving. I was like, hey, bud, I think you just lost your head coach because I was like, you probably didn't want to be in that Pac-2 shit next year. You know, everybody wants to be in the Big Ten next year.
Yeah.
But man, so here's the recap of the game for me. Great. It was kind of weird that Ohio State was on the third possession in the first quarter. So in the first quarter, both teams had 2 possessions, and Ohio State just got the ball back. And I was like, wow, to have Ohio State have the third possession and the score 0-0, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
We got a great interception, finally punched it in, 7-0, a little relief. They come driving down the field again. I was like, I don't like that. Score 3 points. Okay, cool. We stopped them. We go ahead with another tutty, the tutty to Roman Wilson.
Yeah.
That was on my end.
Nice.
So that was fantastic, and
Nice.
and seeing I'm about on the 10-yard line, so seeing that ball cross in between 2 defenders, so then there's that oblique vision view that I don't get because I'm not watching the overhead cam.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is he? Oh my god, one of those. So that was dope.
Yeah.
One of my favorite plays was the Edwards trick play.
Okay.
Edwards little shovel route. Threw the ball downfield to the tight end for a huge first down. We only got a field goal out of that drive, but.
It's a hard-fought 3 points.
The fourth quarter, though, very stressful. Michigan,
Ended
Ohio
up needing
State,
those 3 points.
Well, Ohio State, when they tied it 17-17, never was quieter. You could kind of hear the Ohio State, the smallest Ohio State crowd I've seen there in years.
Yeah.
But they were right down to my right. You could kind of hear them murmuring. Michigan comes back and responds 24-17. So that was my side relief. But that. The thing that made me feel good is Michigan got the ball and did an 8-minute drive downfield to only leave a minute on the clock.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Michigan. And then with a review, a fumble catch, I was like, oh my God, are we about to lose to 1 point? This might be the sickest moment of my life. And then to see the next play, the interception, I was like, man, dude. Like as much as like you'd like the relief of not having a blowout, I think I kind of agree. Having games like that are way better as an experience.
Oh, yeah. Going to the game, it's way better to see a close win.
Yeah.
It's way better to see a close win.
Yeah.
Because if it's a blowout, you're more than likely leaving in the third, early
Not for that
fourth.
game. Well, any other game.
I mean,
any other game.
If it was 60-7 in the beginning of the fourth, you might have dicked out a little early.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You would have stayed till the last fucking second?
Yeah.
Doubt it.
It's the game.
Doubt it.
It's the game. But I had a great sports weekend. I got to see a Packers win. One thing, here's my question for you. You're the Ohio State athletic director,
Okay.
who almost got into a fight. He was dropping F-bombs on the Michigan sideline because I guess he crossed the yellow line. I don't know, this is all allegedly, but he was just like, you really fucking starting this shit right now? Like, talking to some guys like, hey, man, you're behind. I never stepped over no fucking line. Like, he was, like, pretty pissed.
Gotcha.
But you're the AD for Ohio State. Ryan Day's 56-7. He has one win in 2. No, he's 1-3 against Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost 3 years in a row to Michigan.
Yeah.
Do you bring Ryan Day back at a 56-7 record?
Honestly, I think you have to, but I'm not super like entrenched in
Rivalries?
not the rivalries, but just like the nuances of college football. Like, I enjoy watching the games. I don't know really much of the history. I understand rivalry games are important, but also at the same time, he's bringing in so much money. He's only lost, 2 games the last 2 years?
Yeah.
And they've both been to you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still a pretty good fucking record.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think you have to bring him back. But I also remember in the early Harbaugh years when he hadn't beat Ohio yet, you were like, he's got one more chance. You were like, he's out of here if he doesn't win this year, and then he just hasn't lost against them since. And I remember thinking that too, because I remember I asked you back in the day, and I asked you if you would rather go undefeated but lose to Ohio every year, or if you'd rather lose every other game except for the Ohio game. You said you'd rather be fucking 1-12 or whatever it is, and beat Ohio every year. And I still think that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's just a wild. So, like, I guess maybe if you have that type of mindset, kick him the fuck out. But my mindset, like, kind of removed from college football, I think you have to give him another shot. Or, I mean, if your goal is just to beat Michigan, like, if that's the one goal that he has to keep his job, he's been failing that.
Yeah. Well,
but he's won every other game.
I think that's why this makes this the greatest rivalry, because how college football has gone throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's just been dominating everybody. So even though like your rivals with Alabama, like all the other ones, like there's no SEC head coaches getting fired for losing to their rivals in the SEC anymore.
Yeah.
You look at all the other teams, like the Red River game, it's been kind of outstacked of. Oh, I understand it's a Red River game, but like usually it's one team's the top 10 and the other team's floating around in the 18. So like they're kind of good, but Michigan and Ohio State usually like meet at 1-2 or undefeated, one loss, and if you beat Ohio State, you win because the one loss and Ohio State beaten gets you in. So there's another coach in the early, I think 70s who went like if he played 12 games, he went like 40. He went 40-4. Or some shit, or whatever the math is. He only had 4 losses, and all 4 losses were to Michigan, and they fired him after this 4th year. So he won every other game.
And who did he coach for?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
So he lost every.
I mean, that's kind of the fucking what you got there, almost.
But the other thing too is that's like a playoff game. So if you can't win in that game, then Yeah,
but I mean that's not the only playoff-like game that he plays throughout the season. Like there's other there's other ranked teams, but I guess because I have heard in like documentaries I've watched that like Saban as a Alabama head coach, you have to beat Auburn.
Yeah,
he's like if you want to keep your job here, you have to beat Auburn. And I guess if that's the fucking mantra down there too, like you have to beat Michigan, get them the fuck out of there, bring someone else in who can.
Yeah,
on the same side. It took Harbaugh, 3-4 years to finally get his fucking dub over him?
Yeah.
And now he's rolling them?
No, just 1.
Was it 1? I thought it was 2.
So he lost 2 to Urban Meyer.
Against Ohio, right?
So Jim Harbaugh against Ohio State now, I think he is...
I thought he lost like 3 or 4.
Let's see, Jim Harbaugh, Ohio State record.
Because he's been coaching there ever since he left the Niners. I think he only took like a year off.
7 times he is 2. So he is 2-5. So now he's 3-5.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He lost him against Urban Meyer.
Yeah, but against Ohio State. That's what I'm saying. So on the same page, you had him and you stuck through 5 years of him losing.
But it wasn't a championship team each year. Losing a game they should have won, like not.
Well, yeah, but that's still your biggest rival.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, it's
Jim
still,
Harbaugh got more opportunities than I've ever seen any head coach.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. So like, you gave him the benefit of the doubt to like keep him rolling forward. They could do that same thing with him in hopes that he has a Harbaugh turning point.
Because in my lifetime, it's Lloyd Carr forever for like 18 years or whatever. Thor's board, and then it was. Garbage from West Virginia. It was kind of garbage from one of Brady Hoke, and then after Brady Hoke, it was I think it was Jimmy, and then but Brady Hoke I thought was going to be the answer. Whatever his name was, he coached Arizona too, but he wasn't great either.
Yeah,
it was 3 years and you're done.
You gave Harbaugh a bunch of chances, and I think if Ohio wants to go that route, they go that route. I mean, if I'm Ohio, I go that route. I give him more chances because it's not like he's losing a bunch of games. He's just losing the one game.
The guy who is with Dave, the larger fella who likes Ohio State, who was at his house.
Jersey Jerry?
No. He was at his house.
That's not Jersey Jerry?
Jersey Jerry's the guy with the beard, the shortcut beard.
Is that not the same guy?
Not the same guy.
Oh, I saw that clip. I just assumed it was Jersey Jerry.
No.
They look very similar if it's not him. But yeah, I saw that, and he's got like a place that's close to the stadium, and when they were watching the game, they heard the interception before it happened on TV.
That's Jersey Jerry.
Yeah, was that not the same guy?
No.
What was the guy from the clip today? Or not today, but
that was I don't exactly know his name.
I assumed it was Jersey Jerry because he was a heavy-set dude with black hair.
I don't know. I don't know what his name is, but anyways, last year Dave's like, "What do you do? You fire him?" He's like, "No, you got to bring him back." I changed my mind. You bring him back, and then Dave's like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "You got to let him go."
Oh, for Ohio?
Because Ohio killed Michigan for like 10 years in a row, so they're just used to beating Michigan. And now it's 3 years in a row, and people are like,
Yeah,
hey,
I want to see what Dave's reaction to Harbaugh was after the 5th loss or the 4th loss or whatever it was.
Yeah.
There's got to be a clip of him somewhere bad-mouthing him or at least talking about it.
Yeah, at that one point I said, you got to win this year, and if you don't, you're gone.
Yeah, no, I remember that was like,
yeah,
and then he won.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, so you keep him? He's like, till the end of time.
Till the end? Yep. Yep. I went through 10 hard years, okay?
Yeah,
Imagine the Patriots losing to the Jets twice in a season for like 10 years in a row.
I think I'm at the beginning of that.
Yeah.
We'll see, dude. I gave Bill his 6 years. I gave him a year for every ring he got us to just shit the bed and figure something out. This is year 5? Year 5? So he's got next year to get his shit together. And if we don't even have a spitting chance, like if we don't get anyone that pans out, like say we get Marvin Harrison Jr. and he just turns out to be a complete fucking dud, like he's just awful, and we didn't draft anyone good, retire.
So with Jordan Love, I say just give him the full season because he did have a really bad 4-game stint. Something's clicked in the last 2 weeks to him throwing more aggressive passes in smaller windows. He
looks better. His game presence is a lot better.
I understand it's only over a 3-game stretch, but out of the season he had a great 2 games, bad 4-game, whatever. But
As a fantasy football option, he's been very solid. He's been in the top 10 like 4 times this year, and I think for the first like 4 weeks he was averaging like 20 points a game.
Yeah,
but he was like on the bench because no one trusted him yet. They'd rather play, Lamar Jackson.
Do you know what it was? I dropped him from my team, and he went off. So from this point forward, I will probably never draft my quarterback at
your team's quarterback,
ever again.
I had Mac on the bench, I think, in the beginning of the season, but I was never gonna. Oh, not in our league. I had Tua. That's right. Which is a great draft pick. I got Tua in like the fucking 10th round. I ended up trading him for Keenan Allen, who was the wide receiver 4 in the year.
I got Tom the 1 year.
Yeah,
that was my last pick right before yours.
I was pissed.
I was like,
he was gonna be my last pick, and I was like, fuck it, I got him. And you're like, Nyeh.
Tom saw him the whole time.
Yeah, motherfucker.
He was on my favorites.
That's all right. The 1 year I drafted Aaron Rodgers on my team was this year. I've never had Aaron Rodgers my quarterback.
You killed him.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it is your bad.
Speaking of quarterbacks in the NFL, I got a cut stumper for you.
Okay.
So, do you know which quarterback throughout NFL history has the most career tackles?
What quarterback okay, so
that means they like threw a pick and then hustled. I mean,
Brett Favre's got to be up there. He threw a lot of picks.
Didn't make a lot of tackles. He's not even on my top list. He doesn't even have 9.
Okay, wow. Okay, so Peyton Manning wouldn't be it. Ben Roethlisberger.
Nope.
So Michael Vick.
No, Vick is on the list. He's in last place with 9.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, great guess. He has 16. He's number 4, tied for 4th.
Okay.
With Drew Brees and Matt Hasselbeck.
Okay. Let's see. Who are some quarterbacks? What's his name? Played for the Chargers. He's got like 10 kids.
Phillip Rivers?
Yeah.
He's not on the list.
Damn. Let's see. Man, who are some quarterback? Is Aaron Rodgers on the list?
Aaron Rodgers is not on the list.
Yeah, because he's hardly got any interceptions. Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford is on the list, but he's not in the top 10.
Okay. Let's go
I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Josh Allen.
Not on the list.
Damn.
Tom Brady's on the list with 14.
I would have never guessed.
He's tied with Matt Stafford and Andy Dalton.
Is Eli Manning on the list?
Eli Manning is on the list with like 10.
So my final guess is gonna be Steve Young.
Not on the list.
Damn.
So, number 1, he only has 81 games played. He's got 21 tackles. Goes by the name of Joe Webb. I remember the name. Don't remember watching him play. Second place is Carson Palmer with 20.
Carson. There's a name that slipped my mind.
And Ryan Tannehill at 17.
Wow.
And then it's a big tie for 4th with Russell Wilson, Alex Smith, Drew Brees, Matt Hasselbeck. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. He's actually got the most by a lot if you account for assists too. So like total combined tackles, he's got 26, which is pretty interesting to think about. Carson Palmer's probably the most impressive one on there because he actually had a pretty decent career and he wasn't super athletic. So it's kind of cool that he was going out there making the hits.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the cut stumper.
Nice.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Career tackles for a quarterback. Who the fuck would think of that?
Right.
I did have one more quarterback thing. Cam Newton was asked if he's a Hall of Famer, and he said absolutely.
I saw that.
Not even close.
No
Not
Super
even
Bowls.
close. No Super Bowls.
Hardly any playoff ones.
Yep.
Not a very long career in the league.
Yeah, decently long.
Like what, 12?
So I think he was drafted in
06?
something like that. 08 maybe. Something like that. So he was in the league for a while. His last year was in 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, so like okay, so decent career.
Decent career.
Yeah.
He's got an MVP.
Yeah,
I'm sure his career numbers aren't. He's probably not even in the top 10 for career numbers, but he is in the top like 2 for career rushing yards.
Yeah.
For a quarterback.
Yeah.
But that doesn't get you into the Hall of Fame.
No. Ooh, someone just scored Tutty. Jalen Hurts to Smith, so a double dagger for me because that's their starting quarterback. Hey, but I still get 1 more point there.
Yeah.
A 1 point advantage.
So your fantasy team hasn't quite panned out, huh?
You know, I think next year for the league, if I do finish last, there's still a chance that I won't finish last. But if I do finish last, I am going to do my challenge early, like the loser's challenge. And then I'm going to do a Jeff Daniels-esque curse lifting bath because
A little sage around the
I have
PC where you're
been
drafting.
I've been bottom 10 ever since the first year. Ever since the first year, besides the first year, I've been bottom 5.
I've only been in the lottery one time.
I've been in the lottery the last 3 years.
I was only in the lottery one
I'm
time.
like the fucking
and
Lions.
It was the year that Travie picked the lottery picks, and I don't even remember who I had for my first overall pick, but
Theoretically, if Jordan Addison and Edwards have fucking litty titty games tomorrow, I can sneak a W. So please tonight for the Ravens game, Edwards, please give me 20 points, Edwards. I need it. I started you the last 5 weeks, man.
I'm not going to start praying for my team until the playoffs.
I'm not praying for wins right now.
I'm solely alone in first place.
I'm fighting for my
Scares the
fucking life.
shit out of me.
I'm getting beat today, and that means that I'll be tied for first in my other league. But it's okay. Everybody has off weeks.
I think after I clench my first round bye, I'm just going to sit all my players. That way I can take an L before playoffs.
Yeah.
Just play a bunch of backups.
In my third league,
Give everybody a rest.
early predictions in my third league that it's not going to last, and it'll be okay with me if it doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, the keeper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It happens.
I mean, even if it does, I have a stacked team, but, Justin Jetta's going on IR, and my running back going on IR.
Yeah, it's a rough year.
Rough year.
Rough year. It happens.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got. Oh, I did see, completely off topic, but I saw a clip that there were people in Toronto that were posting the other half of their bed for rent because rent's getting so high in the city.
Wow.
So it's like New York, but on crack, I guess. They're legit. They're hey, I have a queen size bed. You can sleep in the other half of it for $1,000 a month.
I would be like, hey, you can bring your own bed and sleep on the floor for $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a small
I
apartment.
I assume it's a studio and like there's not a whole lot of room, but still it's fucking insane. Do you imagine?
I would
Do you
sell-
imagine sleeping next to a random Canadian stranger in Toronto?
I'll tell you, if that was my case, I know sleeping in the queen is great, but if that was,
I'm bringing a cot.
I would sell the queen, get a cheap ass little fucking twin, extra long, and be like, hey, this, we gotta stay at your place, girl.
Yeah,
I'm on a twin extra long.
I'm on a twin extra long for $1,000 a month.
Oh, hey, by the way, I got my first dice set for D&D. I got these cool. It's like a little mountaintop with some fog underneath it, kind of see-through dice. But I also on Amazon you can buy these mystery dice, and 16. That's not bad. But I bought this mystery set, and I'm kind of super happy with the colors. I'm being a fucking monster, but I think that's pretty sick for a mystery set. Oh wow, a 2. How terrible.
I win.
17. A 3.
It's a 9.
9. Easy to read.
I win.
Damn. But yeah, D&D is pretty fun. Super excited for us to.
Yeah, we're gonna get that going. We're definitely gonna be talking about that a lot on here at some point.
What we should do too is once we all figure out what kind of characters we want to get, we can. 1, we can print them, but 2, we can even just they're like $5,
Oh, little figurines for it.
and we should.
I'm down.
Have a night where we just get elevated and paint them.
I'm down.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Well, hey guys, thanks for watching. Leave comments. Let us know if you want us to bring up a subject. Sorry that the fucking Communist Party one sucked.
It was just. I mean, it was interesting because I'd never heard about it before.
Great
But
society, but
just not something I
want to spend time talking about.
It's just kind of lame. I don't really care.
We're not cool with communism. Let's end the stream with this.